When we're looking at a table of values and we want to find the linear relationship, in other words, what is the equation from the table, there are two things we always want to find. Remember, when we're looking for a linear equation, then that means we're looking for the slope. We're looking for the slope, and we're looking for the y-intercept. And then ultimately that is going to lead us to how to find the equation in the form y equals mx plus b. Remember, m is our slope and b is our y-intercept. So let's find the slope first. The slope is the point, or the slope is the value of your rise over your run. Well, if you think about a graph of a line, then you've got a graph and you've got a rise, your y-axis and your x-axis. Your rise is going in the y direction because y goes up and down. So your rise is up or down. Your run is left and right. So your rise is your y values and your run is your x values. So if we look back at our table here, we can see that we've got our x values and our y values. So remember, our rise is our y values, rise, and our run is our x values. So if we look at the table, we can figure out the rise over run even though we don't have an actual graph of these points. Now you can always just graph them on a graph paper and figure it out the same way we do when we're looking at the graph. But if you don't want to graph it, you can still figure it out. So let's look at our rise first, because we are looking for our slope, which is our rise over a run. Our slope is rise over run. So let's look at our rise first. We started here at -7. So if we're looking at a number line, -7, we went all the way up to 1. -1. So that's -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1. So we started at -7 and we went in the positive direction. We started at -7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We went up by 6 points. We went up by 6 points. So our rise here is +6. And then our run, so 3 to -1, -3 to -1, we started at -3 and we went up by 2. We started here, we went 1, 2. So our run was +2. Well, +6 divided by +2, that ends up giving us +3. So then our slope here is +3. Now our y-intercept, that is actually kind of easy to find. Remember that our y-intercept, let's say we have a point right here. We don't know what that point is on as far as the y value is, but we can always look at a y-intercept and see that the x value on a y-intercept, we did not move left or right at all. So the x value on a y-intercept is always 0. So what we want to do when we're looking at a table is see where do we have an x value of 0. Well, right here we have an x value of 0. So what is that y value that goes with the x value? Well, our y value is 2. So our y-intercept is 0, 2. We've got our slope, we've got our y-intercept, so now we have all we need to find the equation. So we have y equals m, we said m is our slope, which is 3, x plus b. b is our y-intercept, which we said is 2. Let's try another one. So we started here. We were at positive 8. So let's rewrite what we need. We need our slope. So let's find our slope. We know this is our rise. This is our run. Y's are our rise. X is our run. So from 8 to 3, we went down by 5. So when we go down 5, our rise was -5. Our run, let's write that over. Remember we're doing rise over run. Our rise was -5, and our run was +2, because we went from -4 to 1, 2, -2. So we ran by +2. Well, a negative divided by a positive is going to give us a negative. So -5/2 is our slope. Then we need to find our y-intercept. Our y-intercept, remember, is the point where our x value is 0. What is that y value? So when our x value is 0, our y value is -2. 0, -2 is our y-intercept. So that means our equation then, we just need to look at what is our slope, what is our y-intercept, and we have an equation of y equals mx plus b, where our y equals m, we said was -5/2, x plus b, which we said was -2. So let's write that in the simpler form. Y equals -5/2, x minus 2.